Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I am talking about the father of Impressionism, Mr. Claude Monet, and while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be trying to recreate one of his most famous paintings, Water Lilies in the Japanese Bridge, in my own style. So yeah, here we go. Alright, let's get into some fun facts. So, Claude Monet was an Impressionist painter from Paris, France. He was the founder of the Impressionist movement. In 1872, he painted a piece called Impression Sunrise, showing the port of Le Havre at sunrise. Monet helped organize the 1874 exhibit in Paris. The purpose of that exhibit was to break away from the conservative salon system. So, all these big people, all these big artists wanted their pieces in the salon, but all of those artists were very traditional styled. So Monet and all of his cohort were not getting into the salon anytime soon. So they made this exhibition that they were all going to put their art into so that everybody could see their paintings and see that they were worth just as much as the ones that were in the salon. So sadly, during that exhibition, a critic named Louis Leroy mocked his painting, and he called it an impression, not a finished painting. So the name Impressionism stuck because of that painting. And then Monet's work became the symbol of this new style. Impressionism, impression. Louis Leroy, you suck. Fun fact about me, that piece is so inspiring and influential in my life that I got a version of it as a tattoo. And I love it. Monet was also known for painting outside. People would see him carrying heavy art supplies to fields and onto boats so that he could paint his landscapes directly from life. And I think this is super cute. So he wore a suit and a hat everywhere he painted. So even if he was in like a muddy field or somewhere, he was always in a suit and a hat because he thought it made him look like a respectable painter. Like, how cute is that? He also painted the same things over and over again at different times of the day and the year, like different seasons, so that he could capture all the changes in the light. He actually paid farmers not to move their haystacks so that he could paint them at different times of the day. He was also most famous for his water lily paintings that were inspired by his garden in Giverny, France, which he designed to be like a living canvas. He imported his own exotic plants from all over the place, and he built this Japanese-style garden. And he had a boat studio so that he could actually paint on the river without having to change his perspective wherever the water shifted. And like, how fun, how dedicated. Another fact about him, he didn't believe in using the color black. He actually preferred to just mix darker versions of other colors to create his shadows and darks because he believed that made them look more alive, and he claimed that shadows were full of color. And I actually really like that style choice. Like, that's something that I actually use today. I actually learned that style in high school, and I still use it to this day. And even when I learned it in high school, it wasn't like the lesson wasn't about Monet. It was just about how we look at things and we paint what we see, just not what we know. And, you know, when we see something dark, we automatically think that it's black. But really, if you look at it, like, there's so much color in everything. The way that light reflects off of other things, like, there really isn't as much black in the world as people think. And I think that that's crazy. Yeah. So Monet, he used these quick and these thick brush strokes rather than smooth blending so that people could feel the energy of the moment. So if you actually see one of his paintings in person, you see that it's thick and nothing is blended. He would just, which I honestly don't even know how he did because he painted in oil, and oil doesn't dry fast. So he was just like globbing color on top of color, but it created just such a look to it that just looks so alive, and it really does capture a moment. And if anybody has ever seen a real life Monet or has never seen one, I do encourage you all to go and just live in that moment with him, because I think it's so wonderful every single time I see one. just everywhere. I love him. He cared more about capturing light and color rather than exact shapes or exact outlines. So a lot of his stuff looks kind of abstract when you're close up, but it looks a little bit more detailed from a distance. And you'll see this, like, if you take a picture of somebody and they're 100 feet away from you, you know, yeah, I know that camera phones now and stuff like that, they capture all the detail. But when they're like that far away from you, or even 30 feet away, you can't always see, like, you know, the color of their eyes, the exact shape of their nose and their mouth. Like, you can't always see those things. And he captured that. He just captured, like, their silhouette, but what they added to the moment, what they added in their movements to the moment. And I think that's cool. And his paintings also, they weren't very staged, because he painted a lot of landscapes, so there wasn't really any specific focal point. He just painted what he saw in real life. I don't know, like, what a guy. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I love him. I think he is such a character. And like, when you read about his history, because I spent a lot of time reading about his history and just like all about him, you know, all he wanted was to be taken seriously and to show people that art can be more than just one thing. And he wanted to show people how he felt when he saw things and when he saw light change and how that inspired him. And I will always think that that is so inspiring and so beautiful to any art style. And he influenced so many of the modern art styles today, and some people don't even know the impact that he had on everything. I just think he's so wonderful. And I think that even though he painted the same things over and over again, his art really did encourage people to like look and to pay attention to their surroundings. Because even though you're going through life as yourself, like, not everyone will notice the subtle changes that are happening all around them. And he tried his best to capture them as often as he could. And I just think that that's so wonderful and so inspiring. All right, everybody, we are all done. This took me about 4 hours, and I really like how it came out. I hope you learned some fun stuff about Monet, the father of Impressionism, and if you didn't, that's fine too. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Follow us on all our social media accounts that are listed below in the description. We post new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and we will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye!